اللهم صل على
محمد وآل محمد وجل
فرجهم बार दीगर बाव से बुलंद सलावात
اللهم صل على
محمد وأجل فرجهم. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. While the pandemic has changed the way we live, it has changed the way we work, it has changed the relationships that we have, it has changed our traveling habits, it has changed our perspectives. A lot of lives have been lost, our loved ones overseas, great ulama, great zakirin. However, this pandemic has also created an opportunity to teach our kids that no matter what the circumstances are, Azadari Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wassalam will never cease. Lockdown or no lockdown, pandemic or no pandemic, whether the Imam Bargas are open or closed due to safety reasons, the great sacrifice of Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wassalam, his family and his companions will never be forgotten and will always be observed. And not just that, we were very quick to learn and adopt the new platforms to host our majalis, not just majalis for mature audiences, but also for our next generation, the generation that will lead our mosques, our Imam Bargas, and our organization. It's an opportunity for these youngsters to come forward and actively participate in the recitation of Holy Quran, Sozo Salam, Hadith-e Qissa, Noha, and Majalis. Khoja Jamaat of Melbourne has provided one such opportunities for our young ones to come forward and participate in this two-day Majalis being held today and tomorrow. On behalf of Khoja Jamaat, I welcome our viewers online, our participants, their parents, and our special guest, Janab Musaddiq Lakhani Saab. So the Majlis program for this evening is as follows. We'll start, inshallah, by the recitation of Holy Quran, followed by Sozo Salam, a few speeches, Noha, and then a special speech by Janab Musaddiq Lakhani Sahab, followed by Ziyarat, and that will conclude our Majlis. And right after the Majlis, we'll have a short Kahoot quiz for our kids. So I encourage all the kids within the age group to participate in the Kahoot quiz. I think one thing I want to mention about the quiz is it is not important to come first, second, or third. It is important to participate and learn. So if you've learned something from the quiz or this program, consider yourself as a winner. But Muhammad wa ali Muhammad salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. So with that, मैं मेहदी फैयाज से गुजारिश करता हूँ कि वो आए और तिलावत अंजाम दें। बर मोहम्मद व आले मोहम्मद सलावत। मेहदी फैयाज।
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والسماء والطارق وما أدراك ما الطارق النجم الثاقب إن كل نفس لما عليها حافظ فلينظر الإنسان مما خلق من ماء دافق يخرج من بين الصلب والترائب إنه على رجعه لقادر يوم تبلى السرائر فما له من قوة ولا ناصر والسماء ذات الرجع والأرض ذات الصدع إنه لقول فصل وما هو بالهزل إنهم يكيدون كيدا وأكيد كيدا تمهل الكافرين أمهلهم رويدا صدق الله العلي العظيم.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. ماشاءاللہ مہدی، that was very well recited. اس کے بعد میں سوز و سلام کے لیے رافع عباس کو دعوت دیتا ہوں کہ وہ آئیں اور سوز و سلام پڑھیں. رافع عباس پر محمد وآل محمد صلوات.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. کہتی تھی یہ ماں کو بھری میں یاد سے لپٹ کر، اے ہائے علی اکبر، اے علی اکبر. ارمان تھا پہناؤں گی پوشاک شاہانی، افسوس کے رسائی نہ تجھ کو یہ جوانی، کیسا تھا مقدر، ہے علی اکبر. اتنا تو ذرا ٹھہرو تمہیں دولہا بنا لوں، پھر جھلک سحر کی سغرا کو دکھا لوں. بے چین تھی خواہر، ہے علی اکبر. 18 برس بال کے پروان چڑھایا، وہ گیسو جو خون میں نہایا. یہ کیا ہوا دل بر، ہے علی اکبر. ماں تیری میں بھلا کیسے جیے گی، مر جائے گی سغرا کو خبر تیری سنے گی. اب کیا کروں جی کر، ہے علی اکبر. تمہیں لے کے جو دم توڑ رہے ہو، ماں سے ہمیشہ کے لیے موڑ رہے ہو. اٹھے ہو دل بر، ہے علی اکبر. جب کوئی جوان لاش نظر آتی ہے محشر، ایک یاد سوئے کر وہ بلا جاتی ہے محشر. دل روتا ہے کہہ کر، ہے علی اکبر. کہتی یہ ماں بھری گئی یاد سے لپٹ کر، ہے علی اکبر، ہے علی اکبر. صلوات.
اللہم صل علی محمد وآل محمد. ماشاءاللہ رافع، that was very well recited. اب میں سوز سلام کے لیے احمد سے گزارش کرتا ہوں کہ وہ آئیں اور سوز سلام عطا کریں. بر محمد وآل محمد صلوات.
اللهم صل على محمد
سادات محمد کا سفر
सादात मुहम्मद का सफर देख रहा हूँ दीदार रे तसव्वुर से जिधर देख रहा हूँ दीदार रे तसव्वुर से जिधर देख रहा हूँ सादात मुहम्मद का सफर देख रहा हूँ सरसब्ज हुआ था जो अली इब्ने अली से उजरा है वो ज़हरा का शजर देख रहा हूँ सादात मुहम्मद का सफर देख रहा हूँ कहते थे हबीब इब्ने मज़ाहर से मौला हम सीने में तेरे हैं जिधर देख रहा हूँ अब्बास तेरे बाद शाहे कर ओ बला की केस्तर हान से टूटी है कमर देख रहा हूँ कासिद कोई आया ना मदीने से अभी तक अकबर को है सोहरा की खबर देख रहा हूँ केस्तर हान से टूटी है कमर देख रहा हूँ केस्तर हान से टूटी है कमर देख रहा हूँ सलवात
Allahumma
صل على محمد وعلى
Ali Muhammad wa'ajil farajhum. MashaAllah. Now for speech, I would like to invite Jafar Abbas. Jafar Abbas, please come forward for your speech. For Muhammad wa ali Muhammad, salawat.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum. The topic for my speech today is going to be about the famous narration in which Imam Sajjad alayhi salam tells us the 5 signs of a mu'min. So I will be breaking them down and explaining them. So the title mu'min is a title that is arbitrarily given out. But when you receive the title of mu'min, Islam grants you certain rights and privileges that are truly perplexing. For instance, it's a famous prophetic narration where Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is quoted to have stood in front of the Kaaba, and while addressing the sacred house of Allah, he said, "How majestic, how glorified, how great are you! It is, after all, the house of Allah." And yet, the Prophet of Allah was trying to make another point, because he immediately then pivoted to the concept of the value of a mu'min, where he famously said, "A person who has the label of mu'min has a greater sanctity than you." Of course, he is talking to the Kaaba. The sanctity of the Kaaba, as we all know, is something truly special. When you go to the Kaaba, touching or kissing the house of Allah is a dream come true. And yet, the Prophet says that a mu'min has a greater sanctity than the Kaaba. So, if someone violates the Kaaba in some way, God forbid, we know that the person will be chastised. But if someone violates a mu'min, that is even worse. But what is a mu'min? Imam Sajjad alayhi salam states in this hadith 5 features or signs of a real mu'min. And in this hadith, he also gives us the distinction of a mu'min and a Muslim. So, what does the Imam have to say? Imam Sajjad alayhi salam says, the signs of a believer are 5. The first sign is that when you are all alone, all by yourself, are you going to be pious? Are you going to commit a sin? Are you going to say yes to an opportunity that seems really appealing and enticing? And are you tempted to do it? Are you going to say no? Will you resist the temptation because Allah is watching you? Or will you do the act because your reputation or some other thing is on the line? The second sign is to give charity when you have little money. But why is that a sign of a believer? A non-believer will often give charity. So you can't really use charity as a means of determining if a person is a mu'min or not. Why? Because a non-believer gives charity, but the way they do it is that they try to calculate and think deeply about the cost-benefit associated with giving charity. For example, a rich person such as Jeff Bezos gives $10 million to charity. Sure, over 2 days, he probably earns over 100 million. So over 10 years, he just wants to appear to be generous by giving 10 million away. So it's nothing compared to how much money he actually possesses. But with mu'mins, it is the exact opposite. They'll give away without putting much thought into it. The third sign is to be patient when you are afflicted. So you see a problem coming your way, the nature of these trials and afflictions is that either they make you turn towards Allah or away from it. Either because of a problem, you'll find an individual saying, "Why me?" objecting to the providence and destiny of Allah, objecting to the knowledge and wisdom of Allah. Why me? Why is this happening to me? Why now? Or it will make someone else say, "I know why it is me. Because of my actions in the past or because of some other reasons, I know why problems have come upon me." The fourth sign is to forbear when you get angry. Well, a natural spontaneous response is to get angry and lose your way and have an outburst. If you're able to control and discipline yourself at that very moment, it means congratulations, you're a mu'min. It's when you are expected to respond in a manner that is equal to the injury or insult that was aimed at you. The fifth and last sign is to be truthful when one is afraid. We all should know that Allah will not believe the liars or belie the truthful. Lying itself is a big and unpardonable sin, and we should be truthful at all times. So these 5 signs of a mu'min are things that are not too complex or time-taking to attempt. Let's pray to Allah that these things are embedded into us and we become true mu'mins of Imam Ali alayhi salam. My dear friends, these are the days of mourning and lamenting. We are fortunate enough to have the Azadari of Mawla Hussain alayhi salam. We are the blessed ones that are sitting on the first Shiaza and giving pursa to Bibi Fatima Salamullah alayha and Imam of our time, Ajalo Ta'ala Farjak. Mawla Imam Ali Raza alayhi salam said, "He who sits in a gathering in which our affairs and our path and aims are discussed and revived, his heart shall not die on the day of judgment when other hearts shall die." Let's all pray that on the day of judgment, all of our hearts lighten up with the Hubbe Mawla Hussain alayhi salam. Matame Hussain.
Muhammad wa ali Muhammad salawat. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. Mashallah, Jafar, that was really enlightening, and I could see the amount of effort that you've put in the preparation, and indeed we are the blessed ones. That was very, very well done. The next speech, I would like to call upon Ali Abbas Lakhani. Ali Abbas Lakhani for his speech. For Muhammad wa ali Muhammad salawat.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Imam Raza is our 8th Imam and was poisoned on 11th Zikad 148th year after Hijrah and was poisoned on 29th Safar the 203rd year after Hijrah. His father is our 7th Imam, Imam Musa al-Kadhim, and his mother is Najma Khatun. At Imam Raza's time, there was a tyrant leader named Mamun. Imam Raza had followers and Mamun needed to do something about it because he thought that Imam Raza would overthrow him. What did he do? He made Imam Raza crown prince. But then there is a question you are left to think. Wouldn't that mean that Imam Raza is on an even higher status? Mamun wanted everyone to believe that he and Imam Raza would always agree. So if Mamun said something, automatically everyone would assume that Imam Raza, who is the crown prince, would agree. Now let's see if Mamun's plan works. Two travelers came to Imam Raza and Mamun. They wanted to know whether to pray full or qasr. Imam Raza asked, "Who are you here for?" The first one said, "I am here for Imam Raza." And the other one said, "Mamun." Imam Raza said, "For the first one, pray qasr, for the second one, pray full. Because for ziyarah of a man like Mamun, why are you thinking of Islamic law?" Then Mamun thought of a plan. He wanted to embarrass Imam Raza by making him debate with the highest Christian priest, and the Jewish and some other religion. Imam Raza was called. Imam Raza asked why, and the reply was that Mamun had called in some people to debate you. Imam Raza approached them. The Christian said, "Do you believe in Jesus?" Imam Raza replied by saying, "Yes, because he prayed and fasted." The Christian went on, "Do you believe in Muhammad?" Imam Raza said, "Yes, and we raised him higher because he prayed and fasted more than Jesus." The Christian got angry and said, "How dare you say someone prayed and worshipped more than our Lord Jesus?" Imam Raza said, "If he is your Lord, can you tell me who he was praying to? Shouldn't you be worshipping the worshipped, not the worshipper?" The Jewish was next. "Do you believe in the Prophet?" The Jewish said, "Yes. Do you?" Imam Raza replied by saying, "Of course," the Jewish said. "Why?" Imam Raza asked. "Because of their miracles," the Jewish replied. "Then why don't you believe in Jesus?" Imam Raza said. "If your criteria is miracles, then why don't you believe in Jesus? He walked on water and cured the blind and brought the dead back alive." Mamun couldn't bear to be humiliated, so he told one of his companions to lengthen his fingernails, grow his fingernails. Once the fingernails were long enough, he told his companion to dip it in pomegranate juice, and the juice was filled with poison. There were 2 glasses filled with water. He told the companion to dip his fingernails in the first glass. Then Mamun gave the glass of poison in it to Imam Raza. As soon as he drank it, his body filled with pain. Imam Raza went back home and told his companion to remove the carpets and the mattresses. The companion asked, "Why? Surely you'd like to be on your mattress on your final moments." And the Imam said, "For a few moments, I want to feel how Abu Abdullah felt. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un."
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. MashaAllah, Ali, that was very well prepared. Very well done. For our last and final speech, I would like to call upon Mehdi Raza, Sayyid Mehdi Raza, for his speech. Muhammad wa ali Muhammad, salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء المرسلين أبي القاسم محمد
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد
وآل الطيبين الطاهرين سيما بقية الله في الأرضين. Today I have the honor to speak about my eighth Imam, who has been remembered as Shamshir Shumus, the radiant sun among all the suns. In his ziyarah, he is Imam Ali ibn Musa Rida alayhi salam. He was named Al-Rida by the Holy Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam himself. Salawat. When Al-Bazanti asked Imam Al-Jawad, why is your father Ali Rida from all the Imams named Rida? Imam Jawad answered, since his opponents approved of him and did his friends, and this did not happen to all of his forefathers, that is why he is named Rida. Hassan ibn Ali was Shah, who due to the misconceptions raised by the opponents, converted to the school of Waqif. And he said, I wrote some questions in a scroll by which to test Imam Rida alayhi salam. There was such a big crowd gathering at the door of the Imams that I did not manage to meet him. Suddenly, I noticed that the Imam's retainers looking for me. And then he said, here is the scroll. Here is the scroll. Here are the answers to the questions you have with you. And I said to myself, I didn't even give the answers to the Imam. Questions to the Imam. I said to him in a surprising manner. On that occasion, I became certain of the Imam's imamat and gave up the school of Waqif. Another story I want to tell you. One day, someone questions the Holy Imam Rida that Prophet Ibrahim the Chiq, he believed that the stars, the moon, and the sun were God. The Quran tells us in Surah Na'am, in verse 75 to 79. Imam replied to him, no, it didn't say in the Quran. You didn't understand it properly. In those days, people used to worship the star, the moon, and the sun. And then the Imam asked in the same way, is the star my God? When it went away, Imam said to himself and denied it. It can't be my God. He questioned in the same way for the moon and the sun. And denied it by giving logical reasoning. Imam emphasized to understand and learn the Quran from the house of Muhammad to get the true meaning of it. Imam Ali Rida al-Islam's scholarly character is not restricted to religious intellectual issues and common sciences. Rather, from manifestations of his divine knowledge was revealed to the people that indicated his connection to the unseen world. He was familiar with language of his time. One day Abu Salt asked to Imam Ali Rida, O son of the Apostle of Allah, I'm astonished of your mastery of different languages. Imam Rida answered, O Abu Salt, I am Allah's authority over his creatures, and Allah never assigns a hujjah over people whose language he does not know. Salawat. Imam gave many predictions on many occasions that proved to be true. Imam frequently pointed out that no harm would be done by him by Harun. When the Imam was informed that Isa ibn Jafar had told Harun and sworn that he would murder the one who claims imamat after Musa ibn Jafar, and that Ali ibn Musa Rida has succeeded his father and claims to be the Imam after him, and that Harun has given a negative answer. The Imam said there will be no harm done to me by Harun. On one occasion, Imam used an argument to prove his Imamah to Waqifis. Imam said, just like Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. told his people of his time that if Abu Lahab inflicts a scratch on me, I'm not a prophet. And this is my first sign of the prophethood I expressed to you. Then the Holy Imam said the same way to the people and said, say, if Harun inflicts a scratch on me, I'm not Imam. And this is the first sign of my Imamah that I expressed to you. Imam Reza was such under heavy pressure and hardship that when he would return from the Friday prayers, he would come out sweaty and dusty. He would raise his hands to the sky and say, "Oh God, if my relief from what I am lies in my death, hastens my death at this very moment." He was consistently remorseful and discomforted until he passed away. One night, before his martyrdom, Imam told Abbas, tomorrow I will go to this wicked sinner. If I come out with bare head, talk to me, as I will not answer, but as I will answer. But if I come out with covered head, do not talk to me, as I will not answer. Abbas said, next day, Imam Reza set off and I went along with him. There was a basket of grapes and another fruit before Ma'mun. As soon as Imam saw Imam Ali Reza, he saw Imam rose to his feet, hugged the Imam and kissed on his forehead, and seated him in his own place. Then he offered to the Holy Imam, and said, "O Apostle of Allah, I've seen no bad grapes in this. I've seen no bad grapes in this." His Imam Reza replied, "It is likely that the grapes are from paradise." Ma'mun said, "Eat from them." The Imam said, "Spare me." Ma'mun responded, "There's no way. Why don't you eat? Are you accusing me or suspicious of me?" His Imam Reza took the bunch and picked 3 grapes and stood up. Ma'mun said, "Where are you going?" Imam said, "Where you have sent me to." Then while his head was covered, came out, and I did not talk to him. Imam Reza entered the house and laid down in his bed and ordered the house to be closed. I closed the door and sadly lingered in the courtyard. All of a sudden, I saw a charming black-haired youth who looked most like the Imam Reza. I went towards him and said, "How do you come through the closed door?" He answered back, "The one who brought me here from Medina this moment, the same one took me in the house through the closed door." I asked who he was. He said, "I am the proof of Allah to you, O Abbas. I am Muhammad ibn Ali al-Jawad." Then the young Imam went to his noble father, Imam al-Jawad, and he began to perform the funeral oblation for his father. Ala lanatullahi ala zalimin. May Allah please protect our ulama and parents. Ilahi Ameen. Oh Allah, please give us strength to always make good choices. Oh Allah, please protect all mankind, mu'mineen, from diseases and ignorance. Oh Allah, help us become the close friends and helpers of Imam Mahdi alayhi salam. Oh Allah, please hasten the repentance of the Imam so he can finally live as good Muslims in the safe world. Salawat.
Mashallah, mashallah, Mehdi, that was very well prepared and very well done. नौहा खानी के लिए मैं बुलाता हूँ सैयद अब्बास रजा to recite a नौहा. Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein.
Ya Hussein, yeah. Hi Imam Hassan, hi Imam Hassan, hi Imam Hassan. रोते हैं अहले हरम हो गए रुखसत हसन. Hi Imam Hassan, hi Imam Hassan. रोते हैं अहले हरम हो गए रुखसत हसन. Hi Imam Hassan, hi Imam Hassan. कांप उठी ये ज़मीं, हिल गया चरख़े कुहन. हाय इमाम हसन, हाय इमाम हसन. बोलते हैं अहले हरम हो गए रुखसत हसन. हाय इमाम हसन, हाय इमाम हसन. फातिमा के लाल को जहर दगा दे दिया, सब्ज खबा फूल को हाय क्या दे दिया. लोग में डूबा हुआ रोता है सारा चमन. हाय इमाम हसन, हाय इमाम हसन. रोते اہل حرم ہو گئے رخصت حسن، ہائے امام حسن، ہائے امام حسن، رونق رخصت ہوئی چھا گئی ویرانیاں، چیختی سر پیٹ تھی رہ گئی سیدانیاں، دور فغا ہر طرف گھیر ہے رنجوں میں ہن، ہائے امام حسن، ہائے امام حسن، روتے ہیں اہل حرم ہو گئے رخصت حسن، ہائے امام حسن، ہائے امام حسن، زینب و کلثوم کو غش پہ غش آنے لگے، دیکھتی ہے دیکھتی ہے بھائی ٹھکانا لگے، کھڑ ہوا ماتم کرا نوحہ پڑے ہر بہن، ہائے امام حسن، ہائے امام حسن، روتے ہیں اہل حرم حرم، ہائے امام حسن، ہائے امام حسن، کسی کو ہے اس کی خبر تر پہ ہے کتنے امام، منہ سے نکلتے رہے ٹکڑے جگر کے تمام، سارا لہو جل گیا ہو گیا نیلا بدن، ہائے امام حسن، ہائے امام حسن، روتے ہیں اہل حرم ہو گئے رخصت حسن، ہائے امام حسن، ہائے امام حسن، کس پہ ہمیں چھوڑ کے جاتے ہو بابا جنا، کنبے کو کل پہ توڑ کے جاتے ہو بابا جنا، تھام کے دل کو کرے بین یتیم حسن، ہائے امام حسن، ہائے امام حسن، ہوتے ہیں اہل حرم ہو گئے رخصت حسن، ہائے امام حسن، ہائے امام حسن، حسین
یا
حسین۔
حسین، جزاک اللہ عباس رضا۔ نوا خوانی کے لیے میں بلاتا ہوں مرتضی اور علیان کو، مرتضی اینڈ علیان فور نوا خوانی۔
باوفا یا عباس، باوفا یا عباس، سلام غازی سلام غازی، وفا کا تو ہے امام غازی، سلام غازی سلام غازی، وفا کا تو ہے امام غازی، سلام غازی سلام غازی، وفا کا تو ہے امام غازی، سلام غازی سلام غازی، وفا کا تو ہے امام غازی۔
پر محمد وآل محمد صلوات، اللہم صلی علی
Can we restart? Can we please restart, please?
Yeah, it's fine, you can restart.
باوفا یا عباس، باوفا یا عباس، سلام غازی سلام غازی، وفا کا تو ہے امام غازی، سلام غازی سلام غازی، وفا کا تو ہے امام غازی، سلام غازی سلام غازی، وفا کا تو ہے امام غازی، سلام غازی سلام غازی، وفا کا تو ہے امام غازی، جگہ جگہ ہے علم گواہی، دلوں پہ تیری ہے بادشاہی، جگہ جگہ ہے علم گواہی، دلوں پہ تیری ہے بادشاہی، لبوں پہ تیرا ہے نام غازی، وفا کا تو ہے امام غازی، سلام غازی سلام غازی، وفا کا تو ہے امام غازی، سلام غازی سلام غازی، وفا کا تو ہے امام غازی، تیرے علم کا ہے ہم پہ سایہ، علم پہ سایہ ہے پنجتن کا، تیرے علم کا ہے ہم پہ سایہ، علم پہ سایہ ہے پنجتن کا، بلند تیرا مقام غازی، وفا امام غازی باوفا یا عباس باوفا یا عباس علم کا جب سے ہوا ہے سایہ زمین کربو بلا پہ مولا علم کا جب سے ہوا ہے سایہ زمین کربو بلا پہ مولا تیرا ہے چلتا نظام غازی وفا کا تو ہے امام غازی سلام غازی سلام غازی وفا کا تو ہے امام غازی سلام غازی سلام غازی وفا کا تو ہے امام غازی تو باوفا ہے تو لاپتہ ہے پیاس سے روکا تو آسرا ہے تو باوفا ہے تو لاپتہ ہے پیاس سے روکا تو آسرا ہے یہاں میں چرچا ہے نام غازی وفا کا تو ہے امام غازی سلام غازی سلام غازی وفا کا تو ہے امام غازی باوفا یا عباس باوفا یا عباس اللہم صلی علی محمد
اللہم صلی علی محمد وعلی محمد.
محمد.
MashaAllah. Now I request Faris Mustafa for Noha. Faris Mustafa, Noha padhiye please. Ya Hussain, Ya Hussain.
جب ردا سر سے چھنی میں صدا دیتی رہی تو نہ آیا غازی جب ردا سر سے چھنی میں صدا دیتی رہی تو نہ آیا غازی آل عمران کہاں اور زندان کہاں یہ بہن قید ہوئی تو نہ آیا غازی جب ردا سر سے چھنی میں صدا دیتی رہی تو نہ آیا غازی ہم کو پانی نہ ملے تیری خوشبو تو رہے تیرے بازو نہ کٹے چاہے مشکیزہ چھدے یہ مگر ہو نہ سکا تیرے بازو ہیں جدا مجھ پہ ہے تشنہ لبی تو نہ آیا غازی جب ردا سر سے چھنی میں صدا دیتی رہی تو نہ آیا غازی آ گئی شام علم لٹ گئے اہل حرم ریت پر جلتی ہوئی ہو گیا ٹھنڈا علم پرسہ دینے کے لیے مجھ سے ملنے کے لیے آ گئے بابا علی تو نہ آیا غازی جب ردا سر سے چھنی میں صدا دیتی رہی تو نہ آیا غازی قید خانے میں قضا جب سکینہ کو ملی دیکھ کے کرتے کا کفن بچی دفنائی گئی اس گھڑی نام تیرا صورت ناد علی دکھ میں دھوراتی رہی تو نہ آیا غازی جب ردا سر سے چھنی میں صدا دیتی رہی تو نہ آیا غازی دھوپ میں تو تھا شجر تجھ سے آباد تھا گھر ہے برہنا میرا سر کیا نہیں تجھ کو خبر اے علمدار وفا اس بہن کو بخدا تجھ سے دھارس تھی بری تو نہ آیا غازی جب ردا سر سے چھنی میں صدا دیتی رہی تو نہ آیا غازی سلام
اللهم صل على محمد وآل
اللهم صل
محمد.
على محمد وعلى
MashaAllah, Faris. And for Noha, I would like to request Mir Haider Khan for Noha, for Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad Salawat.
اللهم صل على محمد
وعلى محمد وعجل فرجهم.
اما فضا بتا دے مجھ کو پتھر کیوں آ رہے ہیں اما فضا بتا دے مجھ کو پتھر کیوں آ رہے ہیں کیسا ہے یہ چراغ دل ڈوبے جا رہے ہیں کیا شام آ گیا ہے اما فضا بتا دے مجھ کو پتھر کیوں آ رہے ہیں نیزوں پہ جتنے سر رہے ایک سر ہے ان میں سا آنکھیں ہیں بند اس کی اور خاک پر ہے گرتا عباس کا یہ سر ہے تیور بتا رہے ہیں کیا شام آ گیا ہے اما فضا بتا دے مجھ کو پتھر کیوں آ رہے ہیں لوگ کس طرح کے سے دعا کرائے اے قیدیوں دعا دو یہ دن نہ ہم پہ آئے لیکن دعائیں ہم سے دل بھی دکھا رہی ہے کیا شام آ گیا ہے اما فضا بتا دے مجھ کو پتھر کیوں آ رہے ہیں یا حسین
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. ماشاءاللہ حیدر. اور اب آخری نوحے کے لیے میں گزارش کرتا ہوں عابد حسین رضوی سے کہ وہ آئیں اور نوحہ پیش کریں. عابد حسین رضوی. یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین.
پرچم ہوا میں لہرا رہا ہے وہ دیکھو پانی آ رہا ہے پرچم ہوا میں لہرا رہا ہے وہ دیکھو پانی آ رہا ہے دیکھو علم ہے دریا سے آتا اب نہ رہے گا کوئی بھی پیاسا پرچم ہوا میں لہرا رہا ہے وہ دیکھو پانی آ رہا ہے. بولی سکینہ نزدیک آؤ، اے پیاسے بچوں کوزے اٹھاؤ، بابا چچا کو گھر لا رہا ہے، وہ دیکھو پانی آ رہا ہے. جو سب سے چھوٹا گھر میں ہے بچہ، پانی پہلے اسی کو پانی ملے گا. اصغر ہے پیاسا گھبرا رہا ہے، وہ دیکھو پانی آ رہا ہے. حلقے بنا لو، کوزے اٹھا لو، جو سو گئے ہیں ان کو جگا لو. خود چل کے دریا اب آ رہا ہے، وہ دیکھو پانی آ رہا ہے. جی بھر کے تم سب پانی کو پینا، آخر میں سب سے بالی سکینہ پانی پیے گی بعد آ رہا ہے، وہ دیکھو پانی آ رہا ہے. پرچم ہوا میں لہرا رہا ہے، وہ دیکھو پانی آ رہا ہے. دیکھو زمین پر گرنے نہ پائے، پانی چچا ہے محنت سے لائے. وقت مصیبت اب جا رہا ہے، وہ دیکھو پانی آ رہا ہے. پرچم ہوا میں لہرا رہا ہے، وہ دیکھو پانی آ رہا ہے.
میرے محمد وآل محمد صلوات. Muhammad. MashaAllah, that was very well recited. That concludes our Noha Khani session. And before we conclude our Majlis session, I'd like to call upon our guest speaker for tonight, Janab Musaddiq Lakhani Sahab, to express his views. And it is indeed a great opportunity for these young ones to learn from our esteemed guest, Janab Musaddiq Lakhani. Bar Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad salawat.
اللهم صل على
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين خاتم النبيين وأهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. That was a very warm and soulful presentation, right from Tilawat to Noha, mashallah. All the boys have done excellent job and excellent presentation. Thank you very much for that, and thank you very much for having me today. Just a few minutes with you. Now that we are approaching the end of the mourning period, the Ayyam-e-Azha, let us take few minutes out to think and ponder what we have achieved in these 60 days. Although this year, as you all know, wasn't the same due to the COVID restrictions, yet we had a good number of programs online. The rituals that we perform in a Yam-Yaza, all the rituals, the Majalis, the Nohas, Matam, decoration of Alam, preparing the Sabil, distributing of Niyaz, these all rituals are very important, and they are just not rituals, but part of the remembrance of Karbala. They keep us attached to that great event that happened 1400 years ago. They keep us attached to the great sacrifice made by Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam. Now, some people might say and might argue, we have seen some people of that sort, that these rituals are not required. They are wastage of time, they're wastage of money, they're wastage of energy. But these rituals are not just rituals. They are ways to keep Karbala alive in our hearts. They are not waste of time, rather best use of time. They aren't waste of money, rather best use of it. The yearly ritual of remembrance acts as a reset button for many of us, an annual reminder for drilling into young minds the importance of standing up for what is right and for raising your voice against oppression, no matter who the oppressed or the oppressor. It is because of these nohas and matams that some of the first words our children, our toddlers learn to speak are Ya Hussein or, for example, Labbaik Ya Hussein. But these rituals that we perform, the Matam and Noha, they are for our consumption, to keep Karbala alive in our hearts. When it goes to translate the message of Imam Hussein alayhi salam to other communities, these rituals are not understood by them. They do not know what is the relevance of reciting Noha or preparing Alam or beat our chest. They do not know all these things. So these rituals are not sufficient to convey the message of Imam Hussein to those communities who aren't familiar with what Imam Hussein stood for. Who was Imam Hussein and what happened on the day of Ashura? For other people to understand Karbala, we will have to build our own personality in accordance to the message of Karbala, and not only to build our personality according to that, but to reflect it in our daily life. There are 5 reasons, there are 5 lessons from Karbala that should be attached to our personality, through which we can convey those to other communities. When we go to school, when we go to our job, when we meet our neighbors, when we meet our non-Muslim friends, there are 5 lessons that we have to embrace in our personality. Number 1, Be righteous, even if you are alone. Standing up for what is right is important. Even if you have to face personal loss, it is important for the greater good. This is the only way to defeat injustice. This is lesson number 1 from Karbala. Be righteous. Number 2, be just. Don't be selective when speaking up against tyranny. It does not matter if the oppressed person is not related to you. Similarly, it doesn't matter if the oppressor is related to you. You have to stand up for what is right, no matter what. So, the second lesson that we learn is be just. Lesson number 3 that we have learned from Karbala is be kind, even to your enemies. As we all know, and we have listened this in Majlis, Hur was the general of enemy army. He and his group of soldiers had ran out of water while on their way to intercept Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Imam Hussein served them with water despite his limited stock. So be kind, even if the person is against you or he or she is your enemy. The fourth lesson that we have learned from Karbala is to be patient, to demonstrate sabr. The overall goal is more important than our personal feelings. Hazrat Abbas alayhi salam, the brave son of Maula Ali and the younger brother of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, was a famous warrior of his time, a very courageous person. He drove fear into the very soul of his enemies. Yet, he kept quiet in the face of many provocations as commanded by his elder brother and Imam Hussein alayhi salam. He demonstrated highest level of sabr. So the lesson number 4 is to demonstrate sabr. And last but not least, be brave even when you have lost everything. Janab Zainab Salamullah Alayha, the brave daughter of Maula Ali and the sister of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, was taken as prisoner after seeing her family being massacred. Her loving brothers, her nephews, and even her own 2 sons, all were killed in one day. Yet she didn't lose focus on the goal of her brother. Tied up in ropes, she fearlessly spoke against the tyrant Yazid. May Allah's curse on him. He went to the Darbar, Yazid's Darbar, and spoke fearlessly. So these are the 5 lessons that we have to adopt in our daily life. And through our personal demonstration of these lessons, we can show to the members of other community what Imam Hussein and what Karbala stood for. In the end, since today's program is attributed to Imam Raza alayhi salam, let me share with you two of his very beautiful narrations, his sayings. Number one is eating less, Imam said, eating less and refraining from excessive use of food will protect your body against various disease. Unquote. What a beautiful quote we have from Imam Raza alayhi salam. Healthy lifestyle is what we are taught every now and then, and you know that all the trouble begins with unhealthy eating. So next time when you are on the dinner table, make sure that even if you have a place or space for another serving, just remember this beautiful quote. The other quote is respect the elderly, be kind to the children, and pay visit to your relatives. Now, paying a visit to the relative is very important. Not only your parents, your chacha, your mama, your khala, your puppi. And during these restrictions, if you cannot go, of course you cannot go. We are not allowed to go. The least we can do is to call them. So respect the elderly, be kind to the children, and pay visit to your relatives. These are the two beautiful narrations from Imam Raza alayhi salam. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Salawat bar Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Allahumma salli ala
محمد
وآل
وآل محمد
محمد وعجل فرجهم. To conclude our Majlis session, I'd like to call upon Ali Keshwani for ziyarat. But before that, please stay online after the ziyarat for the Kahoot quiz. All the kids can participate in the quiz. There is no prior registration required. And the quiz will be conducted right after the ziyarat. Ali Keshwani, Mutawajjih ziyarat.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله السلام عليك يا ابن رسول الله السلام عليك يا ابن أمير المؤمنين وابن السيد المصريين السلام عليك يا ابن فاطمة الزهراء سيدتي نساء العالمين ورحمة الله وبركاته السلام عليك يا غريب الغرباء السلام عليك يا معين الضعفاء والفقراء السلام عليك يا شمس الشموس السلام عليك يا أنيس النفوس السلام عليك يا مدفون بأرض طوس روحي بالقدر والقضاء علي بن موسى الرزا ورحمة الله وبركاته السلام عليك يا صاحب العصر والزمان الأمان 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 من فتنة الزمان السلام عليك يا شريك القرآن السلام عليك يا خليفة الرحمن السلام عليك يا إمام الإنس والجان عجل الله تعالى فرجك
إلهي أمين.
وحل الله مخرجك
إلهي أمين.
ظهورك ورحمة الله وبركاته
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. And that concludes our Majlis session. To conduct this quiz, I would call upon Brother Abbas Raza. Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad salawat.
Thank you, Brother Mesam. Sakhani, firstly, on the behalf of KSIJ, I would like to thank you Janab Sadiq Lakhani Saab, for coming and sharing the experience and words of knowledge with us. I would also like to thank Brother Mesam Lakhani for hosting the program for this session. Now, before we start, we are coming to the Kahoot quiz. As you know, that all the winners are the participants, and the participation is the key thing that really matters. So today's quiz is on our two imams, Imam Hassan alayhi salam and Imam Ali Raza alayhi salam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So the purpose is to increase the knowledge. If you know the answers, it will be good revision, and if it's the first time, it will be an addition for your knowledge. So with that, I will share the password. So on the screen, it will show the pin. The pin number is 6808579. 6808579. Brother Mesam, if my voice is clear?
Yes, your voice is clear.
So we'll give 2 minutes, and we'll start our quiz by 6:30. So would like to tell you this quiz is for the youth, starting from the age from 10 to 14 years old. We have another session tomorrow for junior Majlis, and we will have the quiz and the Kahoot session for that as well. I can still see people logging in. That's good. And just waiting for 6:13 to be on my thing. So on my laptop, so I can start the quiz. Okay, 6:13, and I'll start my quiz now. Brother Mesam, can you see the screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So 3, 2, 1. Here is the first question. Imam Hassan alayhi salam said, distance between west and east is equal to the distance between traveled by sun as it covers the distance in a day, distance traveled by sun as it covers this distance in 2 days, distance traveled by moon as it covers the distance in a day, distance traveled by moon as it covers this distance in 2 days. The distance between west and east is equal to, as per Imam Hassan alayhi salam. And the correct answer is distance traveled by sun as it covers this distance in a day. We have 8 people who have given the right answer. So Ali Abbas has been leading now, followed by Sarah and Mehdi Fayaz on number 2 and 3. Question number 2. What was the diet of Imam Hassan alayhi salam? Fruits and milk, vegetables, barley bread with vinegar or salt, chicken with rice. What was the diet of Imam Hassan alayhi salam, which he used to take. So 5 more seconds. And the answer is barley bread with vinegar or salt. 15 of them have given the right answer. Very good. Ali Abbas still retains the first position. Hamza is coming second. Which tribe shot arrows on the bier of the coffin of Imam Hassan alayhi salam? Which tribe shot arrows on the coffin of Imam Hassan alayhi salam? Bani Abbas, Bani Umayyah, Bani Quraysh, or none of the above? So we have listened that there were arrows that were going to Imam Hassan alayhi salam's coffin. And the answer is Bani Umayyah. 17 of them have put correct. Okay, the next question is, distance between truth and falsehood mentioned by Imam Hassan alayhi salam. 4 fingers, 5 fingers, 6 fingers, or 10 fingers?
Your screen is
I can't see a screen.
yeah. Yeah, your screen is present.
Okay,
There you go.
distance between truth and falsehood mentioned by Imam Hassan alayhi salam.
4 fingers, 6 fingers,
Distance
10
between
fingers, 5 fingers.
I would like participants to mute themselves, please.
Yeah, 5 fingers pick here.
Okay, the answer is 4 fingers. Wow. Hamza has a winning streak of 4 correct answers now. Next question is, who was the greatest enemy of Imam Hassan alayhi salam? Abu Sufyan, Ubaidullah ibn Ziyad, Muawiyah ibn Abu Sufyan, Yazid ibn Muawiyah. Who was the greatest enemy of Imam Hassan alayhi salam? Okay, yes, the answer is Muawiyah ibn Abu Sufyan. Absolutely right. Next question is, what is the date of birth of Imam Ali Raza alayhi salam? So now Imam Hassan alayhi salam's topic is finished, and now we are starting Imam Ali Raza alayhi salam. What is the date of birth of Imam Ali Raza alayhi salam? 13th Rajab 140 Hijri, 11th Zulhijjah 148 Hijri, 11th Zulqad 148 Hijri, and 23rd Zikad 203 Hijri. The answer is 11th Zikad 148 Hijri. Okay, the next question is, who was the mother of Imam Ali Raza alayhi salam? Lady Narjis Khatun, Lady Fatima, Lady Zainab, Lady Najma Khatun. Who was the mother of Imam Ali Raza alayhi salam? So we have received 28 answers so far. Very good. And the answer is Lady Najma Khatun. 23 of them have given the correct answer. Ali Abbas is leading with Haider Khan, number 2, and Jafar Abbas at number 3. MashaAllah. Next question is, which of these is not a title of Imam Ali Raza alayhi salam? Not the title of Imam Ali Raza alayhi salam. Sabir, Razi, Fazil, Jawad. Again, it's not the title of Imam Ali Raza alayhi salam. The answer is Jawad. Now, next question is, Imam Ali Raza alayhi salam said, one should begin eating with, it cures severity, illness, including leprosy. So when we start eating the food, we should start with vinegar, honey, warm water, salt. We have received 26 answers so far. That's good. And the correct answer is salt. Next question is, who was responsible for poisoning Imam Ali Raza alayhi salam? Harun, Mamun, Mansur, Hadi. And the answer is Mamun. Yes, all of them have put correct. Mostly have put correct, in fact. Haider Khan is still leading with Jafar Abbas number 2 and Ali Abbas at number 3. I think it will be a very tight contest. 11th question. Imam Ali Raza alayhi salam was poisoned using which fruit? Pomegranate, apple, dates, or grapes? There was a specific fruit that was given, the poison was given in that fruit. And the answer is grapes. Next question is question number 12. Who was the wife of Imam Ali Raza alayhi salam? Lady Fatima, Lady Narjis, Lady Sabika, Lady Farwa. Who was the wife of Imam Ali Raza alayhi salam? And the answer is Lady Sabika. Wow, Haider Khan still is leading. Ali has come number 2. Hamza has gone up to number 3. MashaAllah. Question number 13. Imam Ali Raza alayhi salam became Imam at the age of 25, 30, 35, 40. What was the age of Imam Ali Raza alayhi salam when he became Imam? And the answer is 35. Very good. Haider Khan, wow, has came back. Jafar Abbas number 2 and Aliyah at number 3. Okay, here's the 14th question. The bird that asked for Imam Ali Raza alayhi salam's help from snake was sparrow, woodpecker, pigeon, crow. There was a bird who asked help from snake. And the answer is sparrow. Yes, very good. Inshallah. Now, Jafar Abbas have come up. Haider Khan, number 2, and Insia, number 3. Inshallah. Question number 15. This is the second last question. Imam Ali Raza alayhi salam said, we, the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, consider as a debt and its repayment as a duty. So what they consider as a debt? Kindness, generosity, favor, promise. And the answer is promise. So before we go for the last question, Jafar Abbas is stopping right now. Haider Khan is just behind, and Murtuza Abbas is on number 3. Very good. So here's the last question. The last question is, according to Imam Ali Raza alayhi salam, the greatest calamity is the death of poor person, king, religious person, scholar. Three, 2, and 1. Yes, the answer is scholar. I'll put next. The podium will appear now. So the third position is Murtuza Abbas. Second position is Jafar Abbas. And the first position is Haider Khan. Please recite Salawat for all these 3 participants. Runner-up is Insia and Sayyid Mehdi, if I'm not mistaken. I would request all first 3 participants who have came as first, second, third, please send your message, your name and information to Brother Mesam Lakhani. Okay, and we will have the gift after 9th of Rabiul Awwal. Okay. Thank you very much, Brother Mesam. Over to you.
Thank you very much. With that, we conclude tonight's session. Thank you everyone for joining us online or over here. Much appreciated. Inshallah, we'll be back tomorrow, same time at 5 p.m. And this time the age group will be from 5 to 9. And the pattern of the program will be as today. We'll have recitation from the Holy Quran. We'll have Surah Salam speeches from our young ones, followed by Noha, and then a short speech by Janab Musaddiq Lakhani, followed by Kahoot quiz specifically for the young ones, which is age group 5 to 9. Yep. Thank you everyone. Muhammad wa Muhammad salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.